Hey there, traders, checking in on Bitcoin and the altcoin space. Over the weekend, the bulls continue to impress, holding well, keeping us within striking distance of the all-time high. I got a new sweater. I'm really pumped about it. Let's check out some charts. So we'll start it off with the dollar. The dollar confirmed a daily bear flag today without much follow through. A bounce is underway, but again, as long as we are under 91.24, the bears have complete control. That's our daily lower high. It would definitely be notable to me if that resistance level were to break from here. That would be a bear break with zero follow through, straight into a bull break, which would show a short-term shift in momentum. But very simple statement, if 91.24 is resistance, the bears have complete control, and weak dollar is good for our assets as we look to the potential of a stimulus going through and the potential of funds being sent to citizens of the US and the further downward pressure that would put on the dollar. That's what we're watching in the short term, but the chart will tell us whether the dollar is strong or not. And certainly the answer is no over the past bunch of months. So Bitcoin over the weekend, very successful weekend for the bulls. We had a low of 17,639. We broke support with zero follow through and then went straight into a 10% bounce. So again, simple statements. If 17,580 holds from here, then Bitcoin is a weekly bull flag that will see all-time highs into the end of the year or first thing to start next year. If we don't break 17,580, then the bears prove absolutely nothing to us in the short term. So if I am an aggressive bull, I am establishing an all-in position off of that level. If I am a conservative bull, which I am, I have my no-touch position. I have my swing position, which is small enough to allow these fluctuations to me not to worry about them. And I'm keeping cash for weekly EMA support. If we were to get a bear break, I want to have that cash for a weekly higher low entry. So if I were aggressive bull going for a home run, let's say I was and I re-entered my entire position, average 18,500, playing off 17,500 support. I'm risking $1,000 and the potential would be there that I'm only risking profit from the bull move up over the last couple of months. That's the scenario where I personally will be aggressive if I'm only risking profit. So hopefully a lot of you are in that scenario, and worst case scenario, it's not a bull flag. We see further weekly consolidation, but not a whole lot of profit given back from this big move up. So I'm going to remain patient. What the bulls need to see from here for the ideal week is to top out on this move wherever it's going to be. We have resistance at 19,430, which we are rejecting from. There's another one at 19.6, and there's another one at the all-time high, 19.9. So if I'm a bull, what I want to see is a rejection from resistance because I don't want to be too extended heading into that 20,000 test. I want to see a lower high here or a top out, a pullback for a daily high or low above 17,580, and then a confirmed daily trend change into a break of 20,000. That would be best case scenario, and it's entirely possible. Again, I've been impressed with this dip buying. In my opinion, if this was going to be a double top rejection and the high of the next few months, we would have rolled over more significantly by now. The bears would have been more aggressive, the bulls would have been more fearful, locking in profit, and we're just not seeing that at this point. That can change, but in order for that to change, we're going to have to see notable bear volume, and we're going to have to say, wow, this is a very different environment than we've seen over the last week, and the bears do still have complete control. So again, that can show up, and a lot of people are looking at, the funds that are, the coins that are being moved around onto exchanges and potential selling pressure. Honestly, I'm just keeping it simple. Prices. The price levels are going to tell us everything we need to know. I don't care if there's a lot of coins moving on to exchanges if we don't break 17,580. So that's what I'm sticking with, what's been working for the last 3 years in the crypto space. And not to say that there's not useful information in other metrics. They just haven't been useful for me personally. Daily inside bar currently, 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin, healthy EMA 12 support, and short-term support is 18,967. And if that level were to break, I would zoom out and then look for a 12-hour high or low. It's a potential 12-hour bull flag at this point. Again, the burden of proof is squarely on the bear's shoulders. Dominance chart also broke bullish as well. It's not a huge break, but we had our low, high of the bounce, higher low. We were just tightening up. We did break this resistance level. You can see, again, not a lot of follow through, but if we zoom out, we're now going to scout a weekly lower high compared to 67.46 and then a weekly higher low. What could change that would be if Bitcoin did break 20,000 and if there was significant follow through, I would expect that this dominance chart would see a significant bull move as Bitcoin gets all the attention. But that could work. Let's say we did get a bull break and Bitcoin did see a big bull move. We make our way up to resistance, and then as Bitcoin consolidates, we then see profits head into the altcoin space to see this weekly equilibrium tighten up. But that's what I'm keeping an eye out for. Bulls have short-term momentum. The altcoins are a bit weaker than Bitcoin over the last couple of days, and watching for a weekly lower high. But keeping in mind that all-time highs of Bitcoin could definitely change things, and it could just break to a higher high if that were to happen. ETH USD, so same thing. We had a low, and we actually held that low. Bitcoin broke to the lower low with no follow-through. ETH held the low. We're bouncing. Daily resistance is 607 and 625. And we topped out at 595. It's currently a daily inside bar. If we form an inside bar over the next 5 hours, and this goes for Bitcoin as well, if it forms and it breaks bearish, we then have to form the daily higher low compared to 535.50, and for Bitcoin it would be compared to 17,580. ETH, weekly bull flag as well. Burden of proof is on the bears. Weekly EMA 12 has been holding for months and months, 7 months almost, and that will come into play if we consolidate further. ETH BTC still sideways, little bit of a bear break, no bear follow through. And again, the weekly perspective, low, high, and we're scouting a weekly higher low compared to 2629, that recent bottom. XRP USD, weakness due to, this is where fundamentals are important, they had an airdrop which increases supply, and here we are looking down at 455 support, and if 455 breaks, the bulls lose momentum. Keep in mind this momentum, big bull move, no doubt about it, but it was 4 days, pretty much 4 or 5 days long. And now it's just been weeks of just slowly fading and giving it back. So we're definitely looking for a weekly higher low to form, but look at this range. What are the odds that we're just going to V-shape to a higher high? In my opinion, very unlikely. We're looking for a weekly higher low, then we're going to look for a weekly lower high, then we're going to look for a weekly higher low. We could easily tighten up within the range that was established over that 5-day span for another couple of months in XRP. So we are scouting a weekly higher low, but we could be range bound for a couple months. XRP BTC breaking bearish at the same time as the US dollar pairing is best case scenario if you are a bear. Just like the correlation between the US dollar and Bitcoin pairing when they're both going up is best case for a bull, this is best case for a bear. So we've already broken the low of consolidation on the Bitcoin pairing. Looking at the weekly chart, same thing. We are scouting a big equilibrium. We can easily trade within this range for a long time. And the bulls didn't see follow through. We don't have weekly trend changes on the Bitcoin pairing. Just a big move off the low. Short squeeze, lack of follow through at this point in time. YFI USDT looks like a head and shoulders, but we're going to assume that we're not going to break this bearish unless Bitcoin rolls over and heads back down towards 17,580, which again is possible. So this head and shoulders would be possible as well. $22,051 is the most important support. Bulls are hoping to create as much space as possible to try and regain the daily uptrend from here and to set a weekly bull flag. This is a potential weekly bull flag as well. All the stronger altcoins doing what Bitcoin is doing with these bull flags. And again, a break of $22,051 would be a notable shift in momentum away from the bulls for more significant weekly consolidation. And if that were to happen, we would then be looking for this equilibrium that we've been keeping an eye out for. If that does not happen, it's possible this is a weekly bull flag looking for continuation. Again, it's going to depend on Bitcoin and whether or not we get this all-time high in the next couple of weeks. or whether 17,580 breaks. Sushi, you could also call this a little daily head and shoulders. If we were to fail 250 and roll over and break 189, that would be the case. That being said, we're 13 cents from a resistance break, and we are 48 cents from a support break. So bulls have a lot of space to work with. We're in a 4-hour higher low just set here at 224.8. We had a 15-minute little inverse head and shoulders. I take that back. It wasn't a good inverse head and shoulders. Clear bull break, higher low, higher high, increasing bull volume. Knew to be looking for that 15-minute trend change because we were looking for the 4-hour higher low, and EMA 12 support was a visual guide. We would have to fail 243 and break 224 to see daily consolidation underway. These are the weaker names, and if Bitcoin stays strong and hits all-time highs, we're going to be watching for these to be laggards. Again, I have no interest in them right now, but I'm keeping an eye on them because they have been some of the stronger names in the past, in the recent past. Earlier 2020, Binance was one of the strongest altcoins, Link was one of the strongest altcoins, and they've fallen off the map over the last few months. That doesn't mean we give up on them, but it just means we focus our attention elsewhere until the bulls get our attention. So we had a bear break here, straight into a bounce. Again, we're just looking for a lower high. 18.9 is a long ways away. But when I'm looking at this BNB BTC chart, pulling back for this many weeks in a row with zero shift in momentum tells me to start keeping an eye on it. So that's what we're doing here. Just patiently waiting for some kind of setup that shows us exactly what Litecoin and XRP gave us on their pairings. XRP bears had complete control on this BTC pairing, and then the bulls showed up out of nowhere with a short squeeze. So we're keeping an eye out for that on Binance BTC and on Link BTC. Link BTC is still a long, drawn-out, potential falling wedge. Again, there is no rush to do anything. It's just something we are keeping an eye on after seeing examples of other names that had very weak Bitcoin pairings, like an XRP and Litecoin, that both had notable bull breaks with significant short-term opportunity. And we're just keeping an eye over the next couple of months for that similar action on Link and BNB BTC. So that's where we stand in the short term. 12-hour bull flag attempt on Bitcoin. If we lose the 4-hour uptrend, daily consolidation, and we will scout for a higher low. If I'm a patient bull here, but I want more position, I'm going to be looking for an entry on a higher low, and I'm going to be using 17,580 as my stop level, giving some wiggle room, because here we broke support and we only saw $60 of downside. So you definitely got to give that wiggle room. Someone didn't give wiggle room and they were stopped out right at the low. So establish your game plan and we will take it from there. It's going to get exciting, I'd say, towards the end of this week. We're going to start getting a lot more information. You can see the volumes dropping off. And tightening up, in my opinion, is a good thing for bulls because the burden of proof is on the bears. And if we're trading sideways, the bears are proving absolutely nothing to us. Hope you had a good weekend. Have a good rest of your Monday. Do good things, and we will check back in soon.